Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Nick here from the Steelers Guy. Today we're going to talk about my Super Bowl predictions and what's everything going on in the Super Bowl. So first off, we got how long the anthem is. The national anthem is probably going to be, well, the bet right now is a minute 43 over under. I'm probably going to say under because she seems like a pretty conservative singer. And I'm just saying, if I'm looking down here, it's just because I have notes. Uh, Winner, I'm going to go with the Patriots. I'll elaborate on this later, but something about them is going to make them win. My MVP, probably Sonny Michel, because I feel like if the Patriots are going to rush the way they did all season, Sonny Michel had like 3 touchdowns just in one game. Wide receivers over under. Joe Edelman, over under 82.5 yards. I'm going to say over. I feel like there's something special about him in the playoffs. He's just going to go off. He's Brady's main receiver. He's a slot receiver. He's covered by Nickel Roby-Coleman. The last time Nickel Roby-Coleman was relevant was 2 weeks ago when he made his first big hit ever. He's been in the league for a couple years now, and that's his first headline. I don't know. He's just going to go off. Robert Woods, over under 75.5 yards. Under. He's an average receiver, honestly. Between him and Cooks, one of them's going to be double covered, the other one's then not going to be. One's going to have a big game, the other one's not. Brandon Cooks, over under 73.5 yards. I'm going to say over. I feel like he's the better receiver out of the two, but they're going to probably double cover Robert Woods more just because he's, more of a threat to them because Brady doesn't really, the Rams really don't throw it over the top very much. 73.5 is pretty easy because, between Robert Woods and Brandon Cooks, they're covered by Aqib Talib and Marcus Peters. They're pretty good, but Aqib Talib is really the number one corner there. And if he's covering Robert Woods, then I feel like Cooks will have a field day with Marcus Peters. So that's it. Running backs over under. Sonny Michel, over under 75.5 yards. I'm going to go over. I already said he was going to be my MVP. I feel like he's at least going to go for 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. Because I feel like the Patriots are going to start off slow, running the ball. You have to probably pick it up in the middle because the Rams are starting to score. Then we'll go back to running after they get the lead again. So I feel like the Sonny Michel is going to be running a lot to keep the clock time low. Todd Gurley, over under 67.5 yards. 67.5 yards, Todd Gurley probably get that in 2 plays. I'm going over. The only big issue is his knee injury that he had 2 weeks ago, but nobody really knows the extent of that injury. He could be healed up already. So I feel like between him and C.J. Anderson, that 1-2 punch will be pretty good. They're 2 different running backs. C.J. Anderson and Todd Gurley. One's a power back, one's an elusive back. One of them's gonna find his way through this whole entire defense. One of them's gonna find a way to run and actually make a difference. But I feel like Todd Gurley will make a difference. James White, over under 52.5 yards receiving. I'm saying over. I feel like 52.5 yards is a good number, but he's gonna go over that because he's really only one of the 2 real receivers in New England. It goes Edelman and then him, because I feel like Gronk's really not as big of a receiving threat as he used to be. He's more of a blocking tight end now, and I don't know. I feel like they're just gonna dump it off to him or throw a short route to Edelman the whole time. So yeah, I'm going over for that one. Okay. Next up, we got Tom Brady, over under 314 yards, and I'm gonna have to say under. I feel like between Tom Brady and the running game, I feel like the running game's gonna stick better. So I feel like he's still gonna get his passes into Edelman and White and Gronk and Hogan, but he's still gonna have to hand the ball off more because the Rams have a better secondary than they do linebackers. So, yeah. Jared Goff over under 285.5. I'm saying over. I feel like he's gonna find his receivers better. He's got better receivers in general between Cooks and Gurley's even get the ball. I mean, they just have a better receiving core, and I feel like he's gonna have to. They're gonna be down a lot, so you have to catch up. So they're gonna be throwing the ball more. That means he's gonna get more yards. Okay, now I'm gonna compare positions between the Rams and the Patriots. Starting off with quarterbacks, Jared Goff, Tom Brady. You already know who I'm going here. Tom Brady. I mean, he's the GOAT, so gotta go with him. Uh, Running back, C.J. Anderson, Todd Gurley versus Rex Burkhead, James White, and Sonny Michel. I'm gonna have to go Patriots again, even though, well, I feel like it's really close. Between Todd Gurley and C.J. Anderson, you have a really good two-headed running game. But then with the Patriots, you have so much depth at receiver or running back. You have three running backs that can all really contribute in their own way. So I feel like the slight edges of the Patriots here. Fullbacks. I mean, I don't even know who the Rams fullback is, but James Devlin. It's probably the best blocking fullback in the league. So odds go Patriots right there. Wide receiver. I feel like the Rams got this one. They have Cooks and I don't know. They just have a better receiving core. Because Patriots really only have Edelman, so that's gonna be an issue. I mean, really, Robert Woods and Brandon Cooks, and then you got that. I think his name is Josh Reynolds, and then uh, you got Edelman. Next up, we have O line. I mean, it's kind of close, but I'd probably go with Patriots O line just because they haven't let up a single sack all season, or not all season. I mean all playoffs, but they didn't have that many in regular season, and the Rams didn't have many in that regular season, but Goff's been sacked a couple times in the playoffs, and I feel like he holds the ball a little too long sometimes, where Brady's really good at getting it off quick. So I'm gonna have to go with the Patriots O line here. D line. This one's kind of obvious. Rams. I mean, you got Sue and you got Aaron Donald, and then you got Michael Brockers, and you got Dante Fowler Jr. I mean, you got threats all the way around. But the Patriots have Trey Flowers, who did pretty good this season, and Lawrence Guy, who did fairly well this season, and then I don't know, Malcolm Brown, who's your D tackle. So I mean, they still have a pretty good D line, but the Rams just destroying that section. Linebackers, this one's easy. Patriots, I mean, Kyle Van Noy, Dante Hightower, and I don't even know who the other linebacker is. But then you got, with the Patriots, you have Corey Littleton is the only big name. Then you got Akabuo, or however you say his name. I don't really know. But that's your only two linebackers, and they barely even run. They usually either run no linebackers or two linebackers at a time for the Rams on defense, because they're more of a pass defense, and Corey Littleton's more of a coverage linebacker than anything. So Patriots get the edge there. Secondary, I mean, with just corners, both corners and safeties, you gotta go Patriots, maybe. I mean, yeah, the Rams have a good secondary. I mean, you got Talib and you got what's his face? When you got Roby Coleman, you have I'm sorry, there I completely blanked on Marcus Peters' name there. Well, okay, so you got Talib, Peters, and then John Johnson, and I mean the whole secondary is like okay. They're all pretty good at what they do. But then you have the Patriots on the other hand, who just they're really good at depth. They have the McCourty brothers. They have Deron Harmon. They have Patrick Chung. Uh, Stephon Gilmore. J.C. Jackson's their rookie corner, who's doing okay. But besides Stephon Gilmore, basically everybody in that secondary is okay at what their job is, but they don't do anything special. I mean, McCourty brothers are basically the exact same person. If they switched jerseys, nobody would care because they're the exact same person. Their depth is just they have so many different players that can do just like one thing that if you put them all out there, they're gonna make plays. And then I just realized I completely skipped out on tight ends. Gronk and Dwayne Allen, two really good tight ends, both majority blocking tight ends. But Gronk can catch the ball sometimes. He's just more of a blocker nowadays. And the other time you got Tyler Higbee and what's his name? Gerald Everett. They're basically the same tight end. You just put both of them out there and switch the numbers, you wouldn't tell the difference, except for skin color. They're basically the exact same person. They catch the ball, and that's about it. Let's see. Kickers. You gotta go Greg the Leg, because, yeah, Gostkowski's good and all, but, he made a lot of 57, 58-yard field goal the other week to win the game. So, Greg all the way. Punters, Hecker. It's Johnny Hecker. He's the best punter in the league. So, that helps. And then returners, I kind of got to go with the Patriots and Cordarrelle Patterson. Even though Greg's going to be kicking it out of the end zone every time, you really won't have many opportunities to return the ball. But I just don't really trust the new Rams returner, even though, because Farrah Cooper got kicked last year when he fumbled the ball. The new punt returner has 2 fumbles, and he's also a majority of their kick returner too, so that's a little questionable. But then punt returner, the Patriots, you have Edelman, and he found some way to defy gravity basically to not touch that ball in the championship game. So there's something about him in the playoffs. That's all I gotta say. Thanks for watching. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and just let me know who's gonna win the Super Bowl. I really want to know from you guys.